Yeah. hmm Just looking at this court order, I just wanted to know who wanted it. If the petitioner didn't want it, yeah, and you didn't give me any actual notice of the hearings, right? There was no personal service, service by mail, or service by publication. I really have a difficult time believing that my five sons wanted it, considering you've deprived them of a father for 7 years and 4 months. Who wanted it? It says that the petitioner didn't want it. You didn't give me any notice of court hearings. Yes. There's a possible forgery of an oath of office. Yes. And the fraudulent use of the state court seal. Oh. Now, I know the sheriff doesn't like listening to me. Yes. But when a court decides to issue a court order where no one, the parties named and the minors named, didn't want it, exactly who wanted to issue it? There's a contractual obligation with the state of Washington in the United States to never issue a court order unless one of the party wants it, yes, or it's in the best interest of the children. Now, as a court commissioner, how well do you know my five sons? Have you shaken hands with them? Yes. Embraced them? Have you talked to them? Why don't you give me every audio and video recording of where my sons appeared in court for the last 7 years and 4 months? Yes. Now, on the one side, you didn't believe the petitioner, or you did. When she didn't sign this, did you believe that she wanted it without her actually telling you that she did? Yes. On the other side, you kept having court hearings where you admitted the evidence of my non-biological daughter in a dissolution of marriage. Right. You believed her for 6 years, but you didn't believe her for the last year when you issued it. Now, what was the difference of you believing her since July 8th of 2011, and then you didn't believe her on July 31st of 2015? See, how many court hearings did Heidi miss from the time she left Guam, yes, until July 31st of 2015? Yeah. Now, I know she didn't appear in court every time you arrested me where you wouldn't admit the evidence. Yes. But I just wanted to know how many court hearings. Well, why did you believe her for 4 months and then you didn't believe her, or 4 years, but you didn't believe her? Um, well, you believed her on July 8th of 2011. Yes. You issued a court order where you didn't protect my right to due process because you didn't have to consider what I thought or what I believed. Yes. You reissued it on July 22nd of 2011 without any actual attempt of service to myself because I was on Guam. Yeah. And then you issued a 1 year protection order on August 12th of 2011. Really, did you think or believe that I did not want a protection order against me? Now, of the experiences of the courts of the United States of America, how many of them have been, well, surprised at the response of the respondent when the respondent found out that a court order had been issued against them? Now, there's the concept of the winner and the loser. Oh, the person that is known as the petitioner is the winner when they get the court order. Yes. And the person that responds to the motioning of the court is the loser when they don't get actual notice of court hearings. Now, you arrested me, yes, for the allegation of violating it where I was found not guilty, yes. Now, in that instance, I wanted to be found not guilty. You thought I wanted a year in jail and a $5,000 fine, and to be found guilty of violating the conditions of my probation. It seems that the court does not have to consider what either party wants. But when you prosecute me, yes, You seem to think that what you want, right, is more important than what I want. Yes, yes, yes. Now, let's say that my record was expunged, right? There was no arrest record. There was no defendant on my part. Yes. But you, as a court, continue to want to obstruct my right to father my sons. So the court order that was issued during the court hearing, yes, you didn't feel an obligation to remove it. You thought that if I had a problem, even though I had no criminal record, yes, even though I had been found not guilty, that I should motion a court that did not protect my rights in 2011. And you were absolutely sure that what you wanted was more important than what the people wanted. You know, those laws that you say are not, well, you are obligated to remove it, and you just won't, because what you want is more important than what the people want. Now, you thought you would continue to violate the laws, and as far as we know, as in myself and any other person that watches this, right, you're going to continue to violate the laws until you're in prison for the rest of your life. Good for you. Way to do that. Now, let's look at it again, okay? Oh, there was a settlement conference setting hearing, yes, on 9/14 of 2012, right. And I didn't get notice of that. You felt no obligation to do what I wanted. And you made sure that I didn't get notice of court hearings because you didn't want to hear what I wanted. You wanted to believe what the petitioner wanted. Oh, now if you believed all of what the petitioner wanted for, well, since May 24th of 2012, right, until February 11th of 2013, yes. And then every protection order you issued until June 1st of 2015? Yes. Why is it that you didn't believe what the petitioner wanted? Exactly at what point did you not require a signature of the petitioner to be able to grant the request of the court? Was this the only time that you did this? Because I didn't get quite a few of these documents. Now, I did think about what I'm going to do when I get some money. Judge, I'm going to get every document, Pooch. I'm going to sue you for every forgery. I'm going to have you put in prison for the rest of your fucking lives. Now, what individuals, right, wanted the protection order issued? Because as I see it, yes, the petitioner actually did petition the court for a dissolution of marriage. Yes. The petitioner did appear in court. Oh, for all of 2012? Yes. And for the first part of 2013? Yes. And the petitioner did appear in court in 2013? Yes. And the petitioner did appear in court until 2013? Yes. And you issued a 2-year protection order without any due process. Well, when did the petitioner stop appearing in court? When did the state decide that they were going to get what they wanted? Now, this contractual obligation to not issue a court order unless one of the parties named wants what you have to give them and has an obligation to acknowledge what the court. Well, it's just like having a stock exchange. Here, let's go through the schematic again. When I tell you to give me my sons and you decide we don't have to, would your decision be legal? No. If your decision to violate the laws of the state of Washington, yes, every state of the United States and the United States federal laws, was to violate the BAWA, the PKPA, and numerous other federal laws, yes, it could have serious consequences for you. Now, after having sent 2 million emails in approximately every state of the United States, when I tell attorneys that work for stock exchanges, do you have knowledge of the decision of this state in the United States to refuse to enforce the actual laws? They even, well, now, there is some liability, isn't there? Every attorney, well, how is it possible? You say the petitioner wanted it, but the petitioner didn't sign for it. You say the petitioner motioned the court on June 1st of 2015? Oh, but there was no attempt of service to me from June 1st to June 12th. Ooch. There were two attempts. Exactly who wanted the court order? Brent Basin wanted it. Mhm. The sheriff wanted it. The chief of police of Port Angeles wanted it. The the chief of police of Sequim wanted it. Why would all of these government employees want a court order issued where they had believed the petitioner from 2011 through 2015, but they didn't believe the petitioner on July 31st of 2015? Well, did you believe her? Well, who was there that day? I don't see a signature of the petitioner. Remove it.